Hello and welcome to the What the Fork Monarchs preview show. Myself, Graham Munsey, joined by Dave Harroway as we look ahead to a championship tussle at Armadale. This week's opponents, the Newcastle Diamonds. Dave, we've only got 20 minutes. We won't touch too much on last weekend. I'm sure we could do a 45-minute show on that, but this is all about looking ahead. And it's another big week for the Monarchs, of course. By the time you're watching this, if you are, the Monarchs will either be due to go, have been, or currently at Birmingham. And then come Friday night, it's a visit of the Diamonds. And Dave, on paper, the Diamonds are bottom of the league. But we all know paper counts for nothing. And a team that's got plenty of Armadale experience, we seem to say that every week. But, you know, the Monarchs can't let complacency kick in. Still a job to do.
No, as you say, we're all still smiling after Saturday night, but we need to keep that going. You know, we're actually now 10 matches into the league season. We've had 5 home, we've had 5 away, and we're probably slightly behind where we'd like to be in terms of the playoffs. Big opportunity at Birmingham on Wednesday night. That's one that could be great if we can get a result there. And as you say, on Friday night, you know, it's important we win all our. Sorry, it's not important. We've got to win all our home matches now. We know we've still got Poole to come, but it doesn't matter whether it's Newcastle, Poole, or anybody else. You know, you've got to turn up to win matches. And the cup time in Newcastle was here earlier in the season. It was actually really close until I think we pulled away with 5 wins in the last 5 races. But up to that, it being close and as you say, with Max Clegg and James Wright, and they've got Ashton Morrison as a guest. You know, they've got and Ricky Wells as the guest as well. Yeah. So plenty of Monarchs Armadale experience. So they're going to be stuffy and tough to beat. And if we're not our best, it could be a challenge. But here's hoping we'll ride that crest of the wave we're on just now at the 2 good results this week.
Yeah, you mentioned that there, Dave. Both teams, sadly, beset by injuries and illness. So there's, 3 absentees for the Monarchs. Lasse Fredriksson, we all know about, still recovering from a broken shoulder. We ride a replacement for him. Paco Castagna, he's travelling to ride on the continent on Saturday. Unfortunately, no way that they could have him at Armadale in there. So BERWICK's Teal Piper steps in. And then another bandit, Kyle Bickley, steps in for James Sargent. On the Diamond side, I don't know if Bradley Wilson-Dean's shoulder continues to not allow him to ride. Ricky Wells, as Dave mentioned, steps in. Matty Weathers misses out. Ashton Morris steps in for him. Paul Stark still out as well. So it'll be rider replacement for Stark, which not double-checked averages, but I think that means everyone gets a ride for Paul Stark. I think he's second in the averages. So I mean, losing Weathers, you was a lot of experience, but Wells, Morris, Clegg, there's 3 former Monarchs, James Wright, Scottish Open winner of the past, Lee Complin and George Congreve, you know, both showed up pretty well. George, probably Congreve's best meeting, certainly away from Bruff Park of the season, was at Armadale. You know, there's going to be a tough ties there, and I think, you know, the job, as it so often does, will come down to Sam and Josh, and what a joy it is to watch them just now. The form those 2 are in, Dave, unbelievable.
Yeah, brilliant. Last Friday night, the heats 13 and 15 were just phenomenal, and it was as you say, a joy to behold. They've both got them. Obviously, not dwelled on the fact they're in Poland, but they both scored really well in Poland as well. Yeah. Again, for me, Sam is the best rider in the UK at the moment, and Josh isn't far behind him. So, yeah, I mean, I'm hoping on Friday, but we won't need to worry about heats 13 or 15. But the way we're carrying injuries just now, you know, getting heat advantages in other races can be a challenge. So we know when it comes to those last heats, like we did at Plymouth last week, the heat 15, 5-1 to get us a point. We can rely on them, but let's hope the boys pick up and do a bit better, and we're safely over the line well in advance of that.
Yeah, you mentioned it there, because heat 13 in particular, we showed it on the Friday Focus, and I think it's on the official Speedway GB website just now as well. What we're now trademarking as another Pickering special. Who knows if we'll need any more of them on Friday, but if we do, I'm sure we'll be ready for it. And I caught up with Josh. Yeah, we're on.
So Josh, another good weekend overall for the Monarchs. Of course, we not glad about the cup. We all enjoyed doing that. 16-point win at home. Only dropped 1 point yourself, then you were off to Poland on Saturday and banged another maximum in. So we've spoke before, and you've said you want to be busy, and once you get busy, you get rolling, and that seems to be the case.
Yeah, exactly. It was a great result for the club. Obviously, we knew going into it that myself and Sam wouldn't be there for the return league, which was a bit of a shame. So we both knew that we had to be on our game and give the boys the best chance for the return league at Glasgow. And I feel like we filled our job on that. Sam got a max, and I only dropped the one to Cookie, and potentially I shouldn't have dropped that. But anyway, it's the way it goes. And we're just on to the next one. But for the sake of 6 meetings in 6 days and a fair bit of travelling in between, I was enjoying it. I was loving every bit of it. But at the same time, I'm enjoying to have a couple of days off now before Birmingham.
Yeah, and I guess, again, we've spoke before as well, and you look at last week, a point at Plymouth, just missed out on a point at Poole, and then that cup result, that can give everyone a boost. The team's coming together now. Yeah, we know we've got injuries, and I'm sure John and Alex are working hard even to put guests and rider replacements and work out lineups for meetings as we go, but the core of the team's there, and everyone's contributing now. We see young Jacob, Heat 1-5-1 at Glasgow. Everyone's now kind of pulling their weight, and it's all moving in the right direction as the season moves on.
Yeah, exactly. It's they like the younger boys that's learning and stuff. They're only going to get better every meeting. So as long as they can continue to progress like they need to be, and they want to do better, and they want to keep achieving better, then me and Sam and Kaisi, we just do our thing, and then the rest of the boys chip in, and it makes our life easy. And we win races and we win meetings, and everyone's happy.
Yeah, and I guess obviously we spoke about it before as well, and the pits have come early, but I think there's a bit, even after that news the other week about Armadale, there is a feel-good fact about the place. We know how much the club means to guys like yourself. I think I heard you're on the phone to Davy Harkis basically as Heat 15 was happening in Glasgow, wanting to know what's happening. It wasn't just a case of, right, I'm riding in Poland today, that's my only concern. There's a big effort going on by everyone to make sure this is a successful season. Yeah,
me and Sam were waiting by the phone, watching every Speedway updates. I'm on the phone to Brooke back home, obviously trying to find out if she's seen it earlier, because she was following the Monarchs live updates, because they're quicker than the Speedway updates. And we were just on edge type thing. And at the same time, we were sitting there thinking, obviously if the boys win, great, but if we lose and it come down to only by a couple of points, and for example, our replacement riders like Sedgy and Richard Lawson didn't do their job, me and Sam were both we would have been gutted, mate. That we felt like we let the club down, but at the same time, it wasn't our fault, because if we could have been there and could have been in 2 places at once, we definitely would have been, but it just wasn't the case. But at the end of the day, it didn't matter, which was great.
Yeah, and I guess from a selfish point of view for yourself and everyone in the team, so another 2 meetings to look forward to as well.
Yeah, and that's what we do it for. We're here to race, and we want to do as many meetings as possible and make the season go as long as possible. But another 2 meetings in the bank is obviously good financially, but at the same time, it keeps us busy when riders start to sit around, when them type of ride, like the other teams that don't make through to the cup and stuff, that's weekends that they're going to have off type thing. So the more you're riding the bike, the more it's second nature to you, and everything just feels how it should, So no, I'm just stoked for the club, and you can see the photo of all you boys up on the on the exit of turn 2 there, up in the pits. And obviously when we done the business at Glasgow, I can see how much it means to everyone, and that's the best thing. It means one thing for a rider to want to win, but when you've got the fans around you, you've got all your mechanics, the team, when everyone just wants to win, it's just an awesome feeling. And when we do, I feel happy that I'm contributing to making a lot of people happy as well, So it's it's a nice feeling.
Yeah, and then looking ahead to Friday, of course, second visit of the season in Newcastle. I mean, they've not had their troubles to seek between injuries, their track, illnesses, whatever. But like anyone, there's still a job to do on Friday. We can't put any complacency in and think, right, that's Glasgow out the way, that's Leicester done, that's who I've heard in the past. Every week we've still got to turn up and do the job, and that starts again this Friday.
as soon as you think that it's going to be an easy meeting, your head will fall off and you'll get bugger all points. So every race is hard, mate. At the end of the day, we're riding bikes to earn money and support ourselves over here. So there's other guys that's doing the same thing, and especially Newcastle, like, they've got nothing to lose in a sense. They've just everything to gain, and they just want to try and win. And another thing, a rider's point of view, earn as much money as possible. So we've got to be on our game as just as if we were versus Glasgow or Leicester or Poole or anyone. So we'll just go into Friday with the same attitude and hopefully for a good result.
Josh, there just just showing how much this club means to him, and I heard, I think that Alex Harkis said that Josh phoned him 10 times during the Glasgow match. I said in an interview there, he was on live updates. He was phoning Brooke back in the UK because she was on the Monarchs live updates because they're quicker, according to Brooke. And don't know why Josh wasn't on the Monarchs live updates himself, but I want him off for that one. To be fair, I don't know how quick the Heat 15 one was. It was myself that was doing them, and I think I very quickly put the result in as they went over the line, and then had to go and celebrate for a couple of minutes before coming back and actually adding some detail.
Yes, was that a Justin Sedgman special then on Saturday?
That was a Sedgy special on Saturday. I was going to say on Sunday. It was a good alliteration either way. So yeah, and then, but you touched on it. If you go back a little bit, Dave, the playoffs is the aim, and probably, if we're being realistic, Poole, Glasgow, Leicester, and Redcar have separated themselves as the top four, and in years gone by, that might have been it. Everyone else might just have been chasing as high a position as possible. But of course, 5th and 6th now make the playoffs, and still as good a chance. Yes, we've got those 2 home defeats, but we've picked up 3 away points now. So that kind of nullifies one of them on the plus-minus table. And as you say, as we sit here on Monday night, we head to Birmingham this week. We've got Newcastle to go to, we've got Oxford to go to. No easy matches in this league, Dave, but we've got away fixtures that theoretically you would think we'll be looking for points. And if you can couple that with a clean home record starting this Friday, of course, against Newcastle, then you give yourself a chance.
Yeah, and it's as you say, it's in our hands. I know we're still 10 matches to go, but it's probably Plymouth and Oxford are probably the main contenders at the minute for that 6th place, 5th and 6th place with us. So Berwick maybe a wee bit unlucky with their injuries. They're tailed off a little bit, but I'm sure they'll still try and give it a crack. But I think Birmingham's won on Wednesday. We've got a great chance. Paco, former rider there, Kai's declared himself fit to ride, so hopefully he is at the top of his game. And yeah, when we go to Oxford next month, that's again another crucial one. That's how you make sure that you go and win there and beat them at home. That's a massive swing in that battle for the playoff spots.
Yeah, and that, I guess, kind of moving on to their opponents on Friday. Diamonds, I think realistically we can say they're not going to trouble the playoffs, but can definitely still play spoiler. They've got home meetings to catch up on after their few week break with the track work. We've got away visits still to go, and I spoke to Max Clegg earlier on, and he kind of views Newcastle as that spoiler team. We'll hear from him now.
So Max, it's another trip to Armadale for yourself and for the Diamonds this week. A place that the team knows well, but it has been quite a tough season for the Diamonds so far. So I guess the plan now is just to get a wee run of fixtures going, get a bit of pride back, get some points on the board, and see where that takes you the rest of the season.
Yeah, that's it. And we've already been to Armadale once this year, so we kind of know what to expect a bit more now. I don't think we did too bad, to be fair, when we was up there the first time. We kept it quite close, throughout the meeting. I think it was the back end of the meeting when where we struggled. But that's it. I think if we can try and do as well as we can on the road, and and maybe try and win most of our home meetings as well. Now, that's what we need to aim for. But yeah, it's been a bit tough, but that's speed, isn't it?
Yeah, and I guess from your own personal point of view, it's a really quiet season for you. Pretty much every other year of your career, you would have had National League, Premiership, maybe all 3, including the Championship. But this year, it's just Championship, and then of course Newcastle had that bit of a break while the work was getting done on the track and stuff. So does it almost kind of feel like your season's starting again just now after having those few weeks off?
Yeah, that's it. I mean, to be honest, I think it feels like my season's starting every meeting I go to, because you know, I'm doing one meeting a week if I'm lucky. You know, and I'm racing people who's racing maybe 2-3 times a week. So you know, it takes me a little bit to get back into it. You know, I think that's what I'm definitely lacking now, bike time. And like you say, I used to be really busy all the time, you know, doing 2 or 3, maybe even 4 meetings a week. And now I'm doing one if I'm lucky. So yeah, it's definitely a big, you know, disadvantage for myself. But you know, you just got to get on with it. And like I say, I can just do as well as I can. I don't think I've had a bad season so far, but I've had a couple of bad meetings. But you know, every meeting can't be perfect, can it? But like I say, I think, you know, the main aim really next year is definitely to have 2 leagues again. It's a big struggle just doing 1 league.
Yeah, and that was actually, I was going to lead on into my next question, that your form when you have been on track is probably as good as it's ever been in your career. So, you know, is there anything in particular you put that down to, or is it just, you know, again, more experience and maturing as a rider? Or
I'm not sure, to be honest. I'm just enjoying riding my bike, and I think it comes easy when you're enjoying it, doesn't it? I've started believing a lot more myself now that I can do the job what I'm there to do. So that also plays a massive part. But like I say, I'm enjoying it every time I'm going out riding my bike. I'm enjoying it, and you can't really ask for anything else. You know, every rider will say when you're enjoying it, it's probably the best thing to do. But when you're not enjoying it, it's probably the worst thing to do. So I just try and keep enjoying every meeting, and you know, and then aim for the next one.
yeah, and of course, Diamond's not had their troubles to seek on track, obviously with injuries as well. So Brad Wilson-Dean's been out for a good chunk now. We've seen Paul Stark miss meetings here or there. I think Matty Weathers was forced to pull out a meeting he wanted to carry on in the last time, and then you've got the likes of young George, you know, new to the sport and in this country anyway. So, you know, just how much of a challenge is that sort of to keep that team spirit going and keep everyone together, or is it kind of just something where when it's like that you think, right, if I concentrate on going out and getting myself 10, 12 points, then I help the team that way?
Yeah, bit of both really. You know, it's we've been really lucky, to be fair, this year with injuries and illnesses and whatnot. So you kind of just got to get all the boys, you know, fired up as much as you can. You know who we have got, and you know, we've had some good guests this season, luckily. But you know, like I say, you got to try and get everybody, you know, who we have got fired up, and you know, try and all banging the points together. But sometimes it doesn't work out like that, and you know, but it is tough when it's like that. But like I say, it's yeah, that's part of the sport, and sometimes it happens, sometimes it doesn't. You know, we've just happened to be a bit unlucky this year, but like I say, we just have to take every meeting as it comes, and you know, fingers crossed, it's you know, we start getting a bit more better luck.
Yep, and then obviously just finally yourself, obviously I imagine many happy memories. Armadale, a former league-winning Monarch. Geez, back in 2015 now. I'm sure it doesn't seem that long ago. But you know, you've seen the news, no doubt, about Armadale potentially being it for the end of the season. You know, that'd be a sad time for you, and a place you've got many happy memories from when you were a Monarch.
Yeah, definitely, and I was shocked when I seen it, to be honest. You know, it's never nice to see you know, any track shut down, but you know, obviously I spent a lot of my my days there, so you know, and I kind of grew up there, and so you know, it is gutting. You know, fingers crossed they can sort something out, and you know, it'd be fantastic. You know, if they can get their own land and you know, and carry on, because it's, you know, it's such an awesome club, in it, Edinburgh, and you know, so hopefully, you know, they can get themselves sorted, and but you never know, do you? But fingers crossed.
Max Clegg there, Dave, you know, a former league-winning Monarch, and nice of him kind of to praise the club as he did at the end there, and just say he hopes everyone works out with the stadium and what have you. And Max is one that's always welcome back at Armadale, and maybe before there was a Pickering special, maybe there was a Clegg special every now and again as well. Some tremendous passes from him in the past, and if he's on that kind of form on Friday, that could go a long way to the Diamonds putting a challenge in.
Yeah, I mean, as we said already, with the rider replacement, likes of Clegg, Ricky Wells, Ashley Morris, and Wright, they're all going to get 5 rides before Heat 15. And we know Max is capable of scoring scoring big scores at Armadale, so it will be a danger. I mean, as you said, Newcastle have got different fight on their hands at the minute. Things that it was nice to see them out at the Northumberland show where riders on the grass track showing speedway and doing things like that to try and get bigger crowds back at Bruff, and hopefully they've got some better racing going on there. It's difficult for them, but in terms of replacements, they can't do any better on Friday, and I think the team that's coming on Friday will do much better than a lot of other teams will do at Armadale. So as we said already, if we're not on our toes, we'll need to be on our toes to make sure we're winning 3 points.
Yep, definitely a job still to do. And as always, the only way to, well, not the only way, but the best way to see the action is trackside. Tickets available at edinburghmonarchs.co.uk. If for any reason you can't make it along, then as always, we will be live streaming. Again, edinburghmonarchs.co.uk, then click on the EMTV link for that. Well, Dave, we all know, we've touched about how tough Newcastle can have been before. And of course, we always like to finish by delving into Mike Hunter's treasure trove of archives. And now here we have Blast from the Past and another excellent race between those two teams.
Clegg, a terrific start. Josh Pickering trying to match him down the back straight, but he couldn't quite manage it. Jacob Hook's in there, giving James Wright a hard race. Terrific effort by Hook. Wright coming back. Meanwhile up front, Matt Clegg leads the way from Josh Pickering. This will be interesting. Josh hammering it round. Two tremendous battles going on here, quite a long way apart. We're on the front one. Josh Pickering still hasn't got there. I think James Wright might have got inside Jacob Hook. He has. Hook having a double back, but he couldn't get there. And that's another one that we can't really call from the first bend where we're situated. What did you think, Graham?
I think Max held on there.
Yeah.
I'd like to say Josh kept the power on into the first bend, but I wouldn't be surprised if the referee gives that one to Max. And an excellent race both at the front and at the back there.
We watched the one at the front, but I think the one at the back was actually more interesting. Because there really was some passing in that, and it showed young Hook in a good light, holding off a guy like James Wright.
Well, Dave, we'll take more of that same kind of action this week. As we said, tickets available, edinburghmonarchs.co.uk, streaming available, that EMTV link on the Monarchs website. But until we are back with the Friday Focus, Dave, what do we like to say?
Friday night, Speedway night. Been some brilliant racing so far this season. Let's see more of it on Friday. Big win for the Monarchs and start that push on to the playoffs.
Did your video printer go there, Dave? There was a 3-second pause. Is your auto cue not working?
In a mad panic, I was always say Saturday, like I said last week.
Yeah, as Dave says, Friday night, Speedway night. We'll be back after to get all the reaction from the tie. Until then, thanks very much and goodbye.